Oh yeah, we're back to talking about the Metazoo Kickstarter, Faded Spade partnership exclusive, poker cards and all that. So buckle down, fellas, because this is gonna be an interesting talk. And really, the final, the final message to take from this video is patience is a virtue. So let's get started. Let's talk about it. So, Metazoo Faded Spade Kickstarter. A lot of people were hyped for that product. Me too. I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was a pretty cool product. Could have been executed better, which we're about to get into. But for those of you new to the hobby, for those of you guys new to Metazoo, and you guys need some background information regarding what the Faded Spade Kickstarter collaboration is or was, it was a collaboration that Metazoo originally had with the United States Playing Card Company, USPCC. Unfortunately, there was a lot of problems with, not necessarily production with USPCC, but there were several problems that were hindering the partnership due to the last minute changes to the production requirements of the cards. For example, due to community feedback, Metazoo Games, the Metazoo team themselves, listened to the fans and said, hey, we hear you guys really want holographic, cards in this deck, so we're going to make it happen. And so unfortunately, USPCC did not have the capability to produce those type of cards for Metazoo, and after many weeks of back and forth, it was unfortunately, the partnership was unfortunately done. So, and it was followed right after that cancellation with that partner. Immediately right after they announced that, in the same paragraph, in the same announcement, they announced that they had partnered with Faded Spade. Now, Faded Spade is kind of like an up and coming company in the poker scene. They're very famous. They're partnered with a lot of the poker tours. They're actually, I believe, they're used in a lot of poker tournaments. So the Faded Spade brand itself is big now, and their card designs are gorgeous. And so back then, seeing all this information, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the change. I thought the quality was going to stay consistent, and for the most part, it was. However, there were problems with the holographic cards, right? So, for those of you guys who ordered all of the Arccaster bundles and all the big bundles, and even the ones just the regular card bundles, you may have noticed that the holographic cards in the decks, a lot of them came damaged. A lot of the hollow foiling on the card, you could see dents and dings, and it's kind of like, it looked like it was just a layer of this like glossy finish that these cards had added on top. Now, unfortunately, because of this, a lot of the poker cards, a lot of these holographic poker cards, they're considered damaged, light played, things like that, and it's kind of difficult to get a PSA 10, let alone a CGC 10, something like that. You will see some of those cards in a PSA 10, the hollow versions, but it can be very difficult because of the production issues that they had with them. Now, besides that, to this day, they have issues still fulfilling what was an add-on option of the Gilded Decks. Now, basically, the Gilded Decks are those fancy decks that you put to the side and, has colors on the side, looks really nice and fancy. It was an option that people could purchase as part of their Kickstarter pledge. As you can probably imagine, though, that did not end well. To this day, it's granted now after this announcement, very cool, right? But since last year in March, it took them like half a year before we even started getting the regular Kickstarter decks. It was rough. Now, the people who opted to have Gilded Decks, even more so. In fact, most people that got Gilded Decks, some of them have started receiving them as of December/January of 2023, almost a full year after the Kickstarter had already ended. It's been rough, especially for the Gilded card purchasers. And rightfully so. You have a company that's saying, hey, gilding's going to take an extra month or two, and you expect those to be in by, end of summer type of thing, and it didn't happen. So lots of angry people, again, rightfully so. I mean, you paid for this product ahead of time. They took your pledge, and you're just playing a waiting game. And yeah, you know, very unhappy customers, very unhappy people. So finally, today, on January 25th, and you may not be seeing this video for a couple days after this, but I figured I'd make all my videos and kind of schedule them out over the next days. That way you guys have consistent content. But today, on January 25th, Metazoo team finally responded with changes that are coming for the people that have not received their Gilded decks. So I'm gonna read this out for you guys. I'm also gonna put it on the screen so that you guys can follow along as I read it. But from Metazoo Games official Discord, we know many of you are waiting on Gilded decks from Faded Spade. Due to production issues, Metazoo will be printing the remaining decks with our own printer. The holographic cards will contain our own holo with a special design like our core sets, as well as a sealed promo as a thank you for the wait. As you know, working with partners can be filled with certain difficulties, and while we enjoyed the collaboration with Faded Spade, Metazoo Games will be taking it from here. Expect shipments to be completed by end of February, early March. Now, very, very cool for the people who have been waiting for this for months. It's very cool of them to add all the extra goodies, like the promo card that's being added to those specific orders. And also, that promo card, I'm sorry, not that promo card, that special holographic design is really what's caught my attention. Now, I did not buy the Gilded decks. I did not pledge any money for the Gilded decks because I just had a feeling that I was not going to be patient enough for the Gilded decks. I just wanted to get these in my hand. I wanted to see them. I wanted to play them. I wanted to talk with them, talk about them. And also get those promo boxes and get the uncut sheets, things like that. So I did not get Gilded cards. Now, the people who did was a very small minority. Very, very small. It wasn't that many. I think it was less than a couple thousand people. They released a whole sheet of them. I think it's on their Kickstarter. I'd have to look it up. But very small amount of people actually got their decks gilded. Which means, all of a sudden, these special holographic cards that are only found in these Gilded decks, along with the sealed promo for waiting so long for this product drop, has, in my opinion, increased value. Like, this is and here's the thing, right? And I need to make a video about this too, because I am getting tired of seeing everybody saying Metazoo error. You don't have an error. You have a quality control issue. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. But that's you know what? I'm gonna add it to the list. I'm gonna make a video on this, and you guys can hear me rant about it because I see it way too much. People thinking they struck gold with a card that has that's just terrible quality control. But this is quite literally the equivalent to me of an error product. And the reason I say that is because you're gonna have this very small subset of people who opted to have the Gilded decks. And then those people who are now getting these Gilded decks made by their own by Metazoo's own printer that haven't received these decks are going to be rewarded for their patience. They waited almost a full year for this product. They're getting a special promo card, but most importantly, they're getting that special holofoil. Now, it may not seem like that, but I think it is. I think it's going to be really, really cool to see how the secondary market reacts to these Gilded decks. I have already seen that these Gilded decks are, of course, going for a little bit more than the standard decks. There's so little of these out there. I think I've seen bundles of them for like $80, and that includes the promo cards. Really cool. Not a bad pickup for you, Metazoo investors out there. However, the promo card and those special holo finish cards, I'm very interested to see that, because again, and I bring Mothman up a lot because he tends to be the secondary market's favorite cryptid when it comes to value. Sorry, it's just my nose got a little itchy. But can you imagine the king or queen Mothman from the Faded Spade collaboration in a special hollow foiling technique with special, like, it's just specially made hollow foil for the Gilded card set owners. Which, again, some of them have already received the product, so they're not going to be receiving the new ones. They're not going to be receiving the new, Gilded decks with the special hollow foiling technique cards. But then that also begs the question, what will Metazoo do for those people? Are they going to be able to, type in to Metazoo game support and be like, hey, that's not fair that, I've waited just as long and I don't get the special hollow foiling technique nor the promo card, and maybe they're going to send them out something? I don't know. But that special hollow foiling technique, that's very interesting, because now you're talking about an arguably unpopular set in the secondary market right now. Like, when these came out, people were selling them like crazy, and then it just died off. Now you can literally buy a brand new deck of playing cards for like $5 to $10, including the free sealed, the free sealed promo card, or not promo card, the sealed. Or it's not even sealed. You get the hollow foil card included in the deck, so you can get a brand new sealed deck with the hollow foil card inside for like $10. Like, it's not like people were hella speculating on this, as was I, and I mean, I still think it's a great buy long term because they're freaking gorgeous, and it's the only poker cards that they've come out with thus far. So, but this hollow foiling technique, in my opinion, is very, very strong in regards to value. So if you guys had the patience, which, I mean, I think you couldn't even cancel, so really you were forced to be patient, but for the patient ones, you guys basically are getting some awesome like goodies added onto your order. Like, that's really cool. It's cool to have that promo card. I think, again, everything has a promo card. It's not the same as it was in the beginning. But really, that special hollow foiling technique specific for the Gilded card full hollows, that's cash, dog. That's cool. So keep your eyes out for those Gilded sets, because February and March are going to be very interesting to see how those do. And I'm very curious to find out how this hollow foiling technique that they're going to be using for the hollow foil card in the Gilded sets. Very curious to find out how it looks and the quality of it, because, again, lots of issues with the ones that we received from Faded Spade. Now, that's kind of the downside to Kickstarters, and partnerships and things like that. Like Metazoo said, they can't really control much when it comes to a partnership. They can control certain things, but things break down. Things don't come out as they should. And when you've taken $2 million from people, you're kind of in the hole for that. You gotta deliver. So I applaud Metazoo for finally taking over the production and, giving all the Metazoo fans who pre-ordered this last year an added bonus for all their patience and for all the troubles of waiting this long. So that's all I got for you guys today regarding the Kickstarter production issues and the resolution by the Metazoo team. Let me know what you guys think down below. Were you a Gilded buyer? Like, did you buy the Gilded sets? Are you excited about this? I mean, I see a lot of people, using the goat emoji on that particular Discord message, and that's awesome. But how do you guys feel? Like, do you guys feel like, thank God, like, oh my goodness, finally? I'm sure you do, but I'm really curious to see what you guys that bought these sets are looking forward to the most. So is it the promo card? Is it the special hollow foiling technique? Or do you just want these freaking cards to play with, man? So let me know down below. Appreciate you guys listening to me just talk about my opinion regarding this and just kind of hearing me ramble. And I will see you on the next one. Appreciate it.